Hi, everybody. It's Meg Czapiewski with Honorable Service Realty Group here with your market update. Sorry for the slight delay. As you can tell, my voice isn't quite where it needs to be. And when these numbers first came out, it was not in existence. So we had a little bit of a delay to give my voice a chance to heal. So we're looking at March numbers, and at the tail end, I'll talk to you a little bit about what I'm seeing in April. But also sharing a very different format than what we haven't been using in the past. So take a look at these snapshots, and then the next set of slides for each county is going to show you the some dials that is going to give me a little bit of insight on some things that I want to talk to you about. So starting out with Fairfax County, I highlight this. Well, the yellow is showing us all good numbers, right? Pluses where pluses need to be, negatives or nothings where we want to see that. So I think that's good news story. The stability here is we'd love to see this going up, but it's early in the market, guys. So we might be able to see something more improved as we get into May and June from the sales that are just happening right now. This is what I'm talking about when I go to the dials. This is what's interesting to me is closed sales. This is just early in the market. I wouldn't focus on closed sales too much. It's this. This is the forecast of what we're expecting to see in the April numbers, because we've got new listings coming on still within a 5-year average, right? These are 5-year averages, each of these colors. So when we're sitting in the 5-year average, that's not a bad thing. And this 5-year average is a little odd in that it includes 2020, where we had a halt and then an increase, and then 2021 where we were off the charts, something we'll probably never see again. Early 22, a lot like 2021, and then the interest rates went up and the affordability equation changed. And so latter half of 22, 23, and now all the way into 25, we've been a little bit more constricted in our market. So the fact that it's sitting here is not a bad thing. And I would think with the new listings and the new pendings creeping up into our 5-year average ballpark, that these closed sale numbers next month will be in that same kind of, window of more midway. Here is the active listings and the months of supply are where I think the most interesting part of our story is. Active listings is higher than it has been in 5 months. Months of supply is higher than it has been in 5 months. It's still a seller's market, guys. I mean, by definition, a seller's market is anything approaching 6 months of inventory, although most would think that that's a horrible market for sellers and a fabulous spend spree for buyers. But we're still only talking 1.3 months, but it's higher than what it has been. And this depicts in Fairfax, and even more so in the other 2 counties, some leverage, some relief for the buyers. Not in all price points, but in a median price point. This, compared to median days on market, seems like I don't get that. And median days on market is only 5 days. Come on, things are flying off the market. Kind of, if you're in the right price point. But if you are one of the, more on the above median price point home, it's not to say you're not going to get that price, but you are going to have to wait for those buyers to come. They're not the 5-day sales that are happening in the more median price points. And keep in mind that these are homes that aren't getting picked up. There are homes that are sitting 30, 60, 90 plus days on market. And this number reflects the totality of the listings, whereas this 5 days on market reflects only those listings that have gone under contract. Okay, switching from pace, we're going to look at the price. And as per usual, we are still seeing positive equity growth, good numbers in that your median list price is higher than it has been in the last 5 years. Your median sales price is also higher than you've seen in the last 5 years in Fairfax. And that's steady across all of our markets. So equity earnings, still a good news story. While stocks are all over the place, your real estate investment is still showing steady growth. Here is one last number that I kind of want to spend a little time on, and this is your median sales price compared to the original list price. So the ratio of what it listed at versus what it ultimately sold at is 100%, 100.1. So let's call it 100%. And that means that the homes that are going under contract are getting list price. Some of them may be a little better, particularly in the lower prices, a little bit better. In the higher side, we're still seeing price drops. So their median is that you're getting your list price in Fairfax County. So let's look at Prince William, and we are not seeing all pluses where we want to see pluses. The median sold price is down for the month of March. Year over year, it's down 3%. Month over month, it's just down 1.3%. In other words, the market is still heating up. So let's just see where that goes. Your days on market, okay, it's up year over year, but it's still only 1 week. So don't read anything into that. The slope is a little bit more pronounced here. Prince William County has not quite caught up pace-wise with Fairfax. That's typical. The further north you are, the more that's the futures for the county further south. Just like Prince William County will be a futures predictor for what we're seeing in Stafford next month. So looking at our dials, the new listings and the new pendings are creeping up, which will mean that we should expect to see closed sales creeping into the more median 5-day average bucket than what we see right now with this early, the things that are closing in March, one under contract in January or February, early February. So then you've got the same dynamic in Fairfax with months of supply and active listings, that there's this community of homes that are priced properly for their condition, and they're going under contract in 7 days. Even though this is way up, I mean, it's still 7 days. Your average is 6, and this is 4, 4.8, 5.6. So that's a big spread for really what is between 4 and 7. And so the dial is misleading to some degree. 7 days on market for those things that are going under contract for a median. But when you look at the active listings in that months of supply creeping up to right at 1 month in this case, so not quite as much inventory in Prince William County as what we saw in Fairfax. But the bottom line is that there are the homes that are selling, and then the homes that are sitting a bit. And we got to break that code as a seller, as a realtor who's guiding you as a seller. We got to get that ratio right so that you fall into this category, which is 100% of list. Don't be looking for your 103, 104. Is it happening? Yes. Call me because I can tell you how it's happening for our listings. But you can't, what you want to see ideally is you're pricing it right, you're selling quickly, you're getting your list price. Median sales price and median list price. Good news stories here. Prince William County also is seeing a rise in the equity for home values. There is a disconnect, just like there was in Fairfax. I didn't really point it out, but there's a significant difference between the median list at $649,900 and your median sales price at $550. In Fairfax has $125,000. In Prince William County, it's right at $100,000. But this median list and this active listings and months of supply are connected, folks. They're connected. If you're listing up here you may have a risk that you're sitting here and you're not executing here. Your median sales price to the original list is still 100% at Prince William. So for these that are going under contract, because I don't have a median sales price if they're still sitting, those that are going under contract in 6 to 7 days and are getting list price. So that you just need to take that note, because nailing that price is important. Let's look at Stafford County. Yeah, the slope is a little different here. Futures of Prince William will probably see something a little different in April in Stafford. They actually do have pluses and minuses where they need them. This is one anomaly. I'll talk to you about it in a second, but you're seeing a year-over-year 10% increase in Stafford. That's fantastic. You're not seeing that in the other two counties. And I think that that's potentially a reflection of that while Fairfax was booming earlier, in year over year, Stafford is catching up to that equity growth. I hope that makes sense. Happy to re-explain it at another time with you. The days on market, yeah, it's actually double what we're seeing in the other two counties. It went up considerably year over year, so it's interesting that it wasn't quite that high last year. But month over month, to me, is more interesting and more relevant. The 31% decrease in days on market is a good news story. It's heading in the right direction. The market's waking up. So let's just look at our dials here. You've got, there's, a little bit more than slam dunk all the way down at the bottom of the 5-year average. And new listings is considerably higher. So the new listings, the things that are coming to the market in Stafford, is moving the dial a little bit more than what we're seeing in the other two counties, but the new pendings hasn't caught up yet. And that reflects that days on market. Takes a little longer down there in Stafford right now to get the buyers through the home, enough exposure to find that right buyer that skipping to the finish line is still getting 100% of their list. So it's just taking a little longer to get exposure to get your same result of in 2 weeks, you are in general on median getting your list price. Active listings and supply are up. This is creeping almost up to 2 months supply. It is related to the fact that their days on market is double what we're seeing in the other two counties. But here's the good news story, because ultimately, will you wait another week to get the right price? Yep, everybody will. So 2 weeks is still not bad. And median list price versus median sales price, they are still showing in an increase, equity earning, stability in real estate, especially at a time when we are not seeing stability in other things in the market. And a bit of a disconnect, 575.4 for the median sales price versus 646,950 for your median list price. There's some price drops. So this is my last slide. I'll stop sharing, but I did go back and look at the April numbers just because I was curious. You've got more inventory on the market, more months of supply on the market. So it's edging closer to those favoring the buyer's type of environment. And I was curious how many price drops we would be seeing in that case so that sellers could correct and get their home sold instead of sitting on the market. In Prince William County in the first quarter, we had a spread from, 6 days on market, actually 2 days on market was the lowest, all the way up to 175 days on market. So that's a big spread, homes that are selling versus homes that are sitting. And so I looked at price drop, and across the board, all three counties, you're seeing about 25% of the homes that are on the market right now in April or have gone under contract in April. About 25% had to take a price drop in order to get there, in order to either now be competitive or to have gotten a contract, to gotten an offer that they are willing to accept. So I hope this was helpful for you. Um, Big picture, real estate's good equity earning investment, but buyers, your window of opportunity is here. It is an opportunity for some leverage in the market. Let's talk about sellers, how to get that list price right, and buyers, how to leverage this market to get you your home. Give me a call. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.